Anatoly Mumaisho, I'll get that right. He's the Assistant Commissioner, Education and Vocational Skills Training at Uganda Prison Service. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, viewers.
Good morning. I also have Madam Sharon Atukunda. She is the Director of Programs at Advance Africa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning, viewers.
Good morning. So today the message is there is truly life after prison. So Madam Sharon, you can start with you.
Yes,
what is the work of Advance Africa with regards to the rehabilitation process of inmates?
Thank you so much. Advance Africa is a not-for-profit, non-government organization. We were incorporated in 2012. Basically, we aim to see a safe and free society where everyone lives in dignity and realize their full potential. The work we do as an organization is we address root causes of vulnerability, and we've done this by creating opportunities for economic development, but then also transforming the social functionality of these communities. Mm-hmm. Our focus has mainly been on community engagements for transformation and peace building, rehabilitation, reintegration, and reformation of prison inmates and ex-inmates. We look at creation of employment opportunities and skills building of these vulnerable individuals. And finally, we do communication and advocacy for changed systems, policies, and mindsets. Our work with Uganda Prison Service has come a long way. I'm very happy to say that. And through our collaboration, we've been able to complement their mandate and deliver efficient and effective services to ensure that these young prison inmates and ex-inmates live a life of dignity.
Right.
We've been able to do this through skilling them in entrepreneurship and life skills. We've done business startup programs. We mentor them. We follow them in the community and see how best they are settled, and carry on reconciliation and conflict transformation programs.
Especially reconciliation, because
Yes.
I can imagine going back and you meeting face to face with the people that quote unquote you're not in good terms with. Mr. Anatoly, let us in on this one and just paint a picture for us in terms of training inmates, because that's your docket. What does it take? Because people say that people who are in prisons are totally indisciplined. It's hard to tame them, lest thinking about training them.
Thank you. I want to first bring to the attention of the public and the viewers that prisons treat prisoners as people who are sick. They are sick in line with the law. They are in conflict with the law. So what people purport to be is not what it is. I want to let you know that people, when they look at someone being arrested, they think that that's how the situation continues when it's brought to prison. Far from true. The people we have, when they come, they are brought to us. They are given induction by the social workers and the office administration of the office in charge. And so we prepare them and tell them that, look, you are here with us. You have been brought to us. You belong to the society, and it is to the society that you will go back. You either offended the society either by omission or commission, and therefore you are here to be reformed, to be rehabilitated, so that you can be in a position to reintegrate into the community, because a prisoner is more or less alone from the community. He has to go back. But if it is alone, the alone has to go with interest. So the interest we put in a prisoner is the training we have to give him. So at the point of admission, we give a prisoner a blank check. This is what we have.
At the point of admission?
Yes, at the point of admission.
Okay.
This is what we have. One, first settle and know that you are here with us for this particular period of time, according to your sentence. And then, this is what we have to offer. Where do you fit? You can fit. If he says, I want to go for formal education, we take him to formal education. If he feels I want to go for vocational training, we take him there. If he says, me, I'm a pastor, I want to continue with my spiritual work, we shall say, so be it. And we make sure that each person settles where he can be in better position to get the more comparative advantage over another area. So if it is vocational training, we give them more opportunities of what we offer, depending upon where they are and the materials available.
Okay.
And then we have them trained.
Interesting, because I'm thinking then after they get out, before we actually get into organizations that come to facilitate and maybe just to help out in what you already do, once they get out, are there success stories?
I think before we go to success stories, what is the journey from the point of entry to the point of exit? That success story cannot be there unless we trace the movement of this particular person. And so the movement of the particular person depends, the success will depend upon how he has been conducting himself or herself in prison. What has been involved in? How has he been counseled? What activities has he been involved in? How many people have been visiting him? What has been the contribution of the community?
So what you're saying is that a prisoner can come in,
yes.
You give them that blank check and tell them, by the way, you're here with us and this is what we expect of you. These are the opportunities. So what you're saying is for some of them, after even giving them that particular layout, they still fall out.
Yes, definitely. These are adults. Convincing an adult takes time.
Right.
But once an adult has really gotten convinced that this one will work, by hook or crook he will do it. And this is why we have succeeded in having formal education take ground in Uganda Prison Service. We tell them, this is it. You lost an opportunity outside. You entered into conflict with the law because you either lacked what to do or you did not go to school. And so this is an opportunity. So someone will look at, what am I going to achieve at the end of this training? When I go out, can I be in a position to subsist and exist and live with others? So ours is not all about training, we call it a rehabilitative training.
Correct.
The major component is all about rehabilitation, not train and you go. This is why discipline comes number one. We cannot take it to a carpentry workshop when you know that you are likely to get a hacksaw or even to get a plain blade and cut another one.
True.
We have to first assess and see that really, can you live with others? Are you in a position to live with others and work with others? Can you also translate what you have learned into action? Can you also give this knowledge to others? Because ideally, in the way we do our things, even prisoners are partakers in training others.
Oh,
yes.
Brilliant. So you actually equip them,
yes.
And they get to the position whereby they can even give off of what they've learned. Okay. You
will go and find that countrywide, when in a classroom, an inmate is a teacher. When he is in a workshop, an inmate is a co-instructor. Where there are no instructors and an inmate knows a certain skill, we shall use the available resources within Uganda Prison Service to equip the OC to provide inputs to that prisoner to train others.
All right.
And those ones, when they are trained and we feel that they have reached the standard, this one we call it now the Director of Industrial Training, to assess them and give them a trade test certificate.
Interesting. And still on success stories, now let's get to that, because already we've covered the process. If now, for example, I'm the inmate, I've been trained in skills and now I've been approved to even give off the skills I've learned as a trainer. Once I've served my term in prison, do you give me an opportunity to still come back whenever I feel like to train them that are still in?
Absolutely, we have got very many ex-prisoners who are training others.
Brilliant.
They are there. But remember, we told you the component is discipline.
Yes.
And so when someone has become brilliant, we have got a stage system in prisons. When someone has reached a certain, which we call special stage, that one really, those are the prisoners whom we see that they have really reached the highest standard of discipline. Those ones can even be allowed even to give lectures with the time. They come back.
Are they paid for it?
They are not paid for it. They do it voluntarily.
Okay.
Like it is a pro bono. If you give, if you are given,
then
why not give back?
Okay, Madam Sharon, let's get into what you do as Advance Africa, just to facilitate, what the Uganda Prison Service is already doing. So when you come on board, of course, through them, what's the selection process like? For example, because I know you actually skill them in entrepreneurship, but by the time you have that list of the ones that are going to take part in this particular training, what do you look out for?
Thank you. Just to mention is we work in over 30 prison units, mainly in Acholi, Lango and West Nile region. And we've worked closely with the Social Rehabilitation and Reintegration Department and continuously involve or engage the prison's leadership at national and regional level for us to, carry on our work efficiently. We build capacities of the prison social workers who deliver these trainings. So at the point of selection or an inmate to go through this training or an inmate to participate in an initiative like performing arts, so we again work closely with the leadership. Our programs mainly target youth between 18 and 35 years, and of course the inmate has to come within the region, either from Acholi or Lango or West Nile region, and having a period of 1 year to release. We also are guided by the prisons, like my colleague mentioned, those who are disciplined, those who are committed and have shown willingness, and then also factoring in the element of vulnerability, because again that's our interest. How do we address this issue? So those are some of the more or less the selection criteria we've considered to have these inmates trained.
Okay,
that's fair.
And you've actually mentioned that it's the inmates that deliver this training, have you said so?
So we've built capacities of prison social workers.
Yes.
Who deliver these trainings.
Okay.
But on different interventions that we have done with prisons, besides the trainings in entrepreneurship, we do in prison projects where inmates themselves train fellow inmates, maybe on how to knit and weave, hairdressing, or beading and basket making, or if it's the performing arts initiatives or from theater, we have inmates who do these trainings, have been trained by specialists and then later deliver. In the course of the program, once this inmate is trained, has served their sentence and are released, we follow them into the community, and again we work with different stakeholders in the community to see how best to reintegrate this ex-inmate. Okay. A success story I could mention here is that we've been able to see a number of them come up as mentors, ambassadors of change. They've started businesses, they identify their fellow colleagues who are released, and also train them in the work they're doing, have come to deliver sessions on how to start a business, on how to manage anger, on how to relate with people, and we have a number of these that we are working with in the regions.
Interesting. And speaking about success stories, you do have one of the inmates, ex-inmates, on record, and maybe we can take a look at what he had to share with us. Let's take a look. Okay. We seem not to find it at now, but the technical team is working on it. We'll surely get it. So the pool of trainers, it depends on what training it is. So for training that is pretty much not so complicated, like entrepreneurship, then you get ex-inmates who have been trained and equipped. But for technical trainings, if it's engineering, because I also saw that some are even taught in law. So do you get now external trainers to come on board?
Yes, of course. We have to bring experts in these specific fields who, of course, facilitate the sessions, and you build or start with a small team who, for sustainability, who then deliver these trainings at a later stage. So normally we engage experts to facilitate the sessions and build capacities of people who carry on these trainings. But again, I think it's very rich, like my colleagues say, to let this person, be empowered or be able to deliver such a skill to their other colleague. Then it creates a lot of impact. Over the years, we've empowered around 1,200, and we see this really being impactful in communities.
Okay.
They are willing to share this information with their other colleagues in community. The youth who are already out, look at the changes that have, this individual has gone through, and how they now respond and interact with the families around.
Okay, all right. Mr. Anatoly, speaking of the community, I've served my term. I'm now ready to go home. Do you facilitate that process? Because I'm sure, like Andrew Tamade was speaking to one of the ex-inmates, she was saying that she didn't expect the reception she got. Many people were still, discriminating against her. So once an inmate has served their term, do you help them in the transition process through integration?
The process, thank you so much. The process of social rehabilitation and integration falls into 3 segments.
Okay.
One is from the point of entry to selection. The second segment is from selection to implementation, or to taking up of a skill to learning up to accreditation. Then the last one is when someone is about to be released. The social workers engage the community to prepare for the release. That's the actual part of social integration. Meaning that now the social worker is linking the prison to the community. Ideally, the social workers are more or less the community liaison officers of prison. The social workers will go to the community and say, look, Anatoly is almost finishing his sentence. We know that he offended the community. He could have entered into conflict with the law and offended some of you. But this is what he has been, the time has been with us. Are you ready to receive him? Definitely the answer would be yes and no.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Someone would say, let him come back, or let her come back. Others will say, if he comes back, we're in trouble.
Yes.
So it is our responsibility to assure them, as we also continue molding him into preparation for his final exit from prison. Then we also engage those social actors to partake in the final segment of social integration. Who are these social actors? We are talking about religious leaders. We are talking about families of these people where they come from. We are talking about neighbors. We are talking about cultural leaders in areas where the clan leaders like Northern Uganda and Eastern, they are still vibrant. We are talking about political leaders. And the final person to harness and we ensure that we say we have succeeded is the victim.
The victim. The
moment we harness the victim and we enlist the cooperation of the victim, then we are sure that this person will resettle. Because usually the prisoners fear the reprisals from the side of the victim. But when we find that we have gotten cooperation from the victim, then we know that this person will be in a position to proceed and go home. And when they go home, as we prepare their way of being received, we also assure them that we shall continue with you on the journey of ensuring that he succeeds to settle for a period of time. That is now the 4th segment of aftercare.
Okay.
We go with the prisoner who has been released, who has exhibited discipline and trained and passed through our system. We go with the prisoner for 2 more years.
2 more years?
Yes. This one may not be known by the community, by the society, but this is what it is, because what must be known by the viewers is that we don't release people en masse. It is a trickle down. So if someone is released and goes to my home district in Isinjiro is one person, you will not know that the social worker has gone there. It is not a caravan like which I see on Al Jazeera going to the United States. No. Here, this is someone who has gone home. So the social workers will continue making a follow-up with that particular person for a particular period of time until they see that really this person has settled.
Okay.
And of recent, the government of Uganda has been generous enough to provide some reasonable small funding to provide reintegration packages for ex-inmates who have acquired skills. This one is being managed by Uganda Prison Service through the officers and child and social workers. If you train in carpentry, we shall give you basic tools to go and start a small workshop.
So startup capital.
It is, we are giving them startup capital, not in the form of money.
In
money can be tempting.
Yes.
We see what you trained in, and that's what we give you.
Okay.
Then we start from there, and we continue working along with you for that particular period of time until you see that really you have reached at a time where you should get up from the breast, and then we say goodbye
and survive,
and then we know that you have survived. This is how we have managed to maintain our relapse rate, that is recidivism as we call it, now at 16 to 17%, which I believe is the lowest on the African continent.
Brilliant, brilliant. And speaking of, rehabilitation and reintegration, and this particular inmates actually going out to start out their businesses, let's take a look.
When I was just convicted, I thought I won't have another life. But after the duration of 1 year in being a convict, I've learned that prison is a place of change. As I become a great man in business through Advance Africa, after the training I sat down because me myself, I did degree in catering and hotel management, and I want, after getting out of prison, I'm going to open up a coffee cafe restaurant within Gulu, and I'm sure that I will operate it well according to the knowledge I've got from entrepreneurship.
Brilliant right there. He's ready and he's geared up to start his own cafe. Madam Sharon, let me let you in on this one. When we speak about you even helping them in the startup capital, how far do you go? Do you just stand by them for X amount of years, and if it's X amount of years, how many years is this? Because business is tough. Having that passion to start can be there, having a startup capital can be there, but sustainability is another whole ball game together. So do you help through?
Yes, like I mentioned, you see, we do follow-up visits. Once this ex-inmate is released, we follow them into their communities. Again, working with the social workers on ground, working with probational officers from the community to know how best, this person is reintegrated or will come into their communities. There are several challenges they face or go through. Some of them basically lack access to basic resources. They are stigmatized, stereotyping. So it's a challenge, when it comes to settlement. And we are not in a rush to give a kit to a person until we understand, how possible he or she is able to start this small business. Yes. So once we go through that process, once we are able to see this family support, the neighbors, like he mentioned, that community is supportive, then we come in and, of course, make response to the interest they've expressed in their business plan or, the idea they wanted to start, and give them these materials, these kits. Now, we work with community businessmen and women in the different communities that we are working in, who continuously mentor and give advice to this individual, to the business they are running. What kinds of markets to approach, what kinds of networks to work with or engage with, where do you get quality products.
So the nitty-gritties of business success.
Exactly. So we involve community businessmen and women within those communities in different sectors to advise, and this is done for a period of 1 year.
Brilliant.
Yeah, for this person to start their business.
And so the success stories are there, and this businesses actually do thrive.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, but of course, this is a conversation that we'll keep on having. Your last remarks in 1 second, sir.
Thank you so much, and I wish to, mine is a call. I want to urge the public, the government, the development partners to join hands with the Uganda Prison Service in rehabilitating and facilitating the rehabilitation of these inmates, because at the end of the day, they go back to the community. if you don't propagate them well, you'll get the worst outside.
Right.
But the moment you look after them well in terms of remolding them, reforming them, moving them on the journey of rehabilitation, once they reintegrate, you find they become more useful to the community more than ever before.
Okay.
And you also increase on the tax revenue because they will be taxpayers.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in studios. Madam Sharon, 1 second.
Yes, I want to appreciate our funders, the European Union and Caritas Switzerland, that have expressed or shown interest in this sector. And of course to thank Uganda Prison Service for opening doors to us.
All right.
Just to note that we acknowledge the corrections that is taking place.
Okay.
And like my colleague says, we urge community to really be supportive in welcoming these ex-inmates and engaging them in their, in community work.
Thank you so much, Sharon Atukunda, Director Programs at the Advance Africa, and also Mr. Anatoli, Assistant Commissioner, Education and Vocational Skills Training at the Uganda Prison Service. Thank you so much for coming in studios. That has been it. Keep your views coming. We are on social media at Morning at NTV. Morning at NTV still continues. Up next is the Take Note with Flavia Tumusime. Keep it here. Thank you.
Super Fever is sweeping across Uganda. Play now to win big this Sunday at 9:40 p.m. on NTV to see if you have won that 50 million shillings super jackpot. To play on MTN, simply dial *165 *33 hash and follow the prompts on your phone. For Airtel customers, simply dial *185 *4 9 hash. Then enter business number 33311. Enter the amount you wish to play from 1,000 to 50,000 shillings. Then select your 3 lucky numbers from 0 to 9, followed by NTV as your payment reference, and get that super feeling today. Super
3! On the next episode is brought to you by
Kiri Soda.
Let's celebrate life.